Alright guys, I got another general investing principles or just kind of knowledge. There's gonna be some principles in here, but I'm gonna be talking about some investing books. Not all of these books are strictly investing books, but they will teach you about economy, they will teach you about how the world operates, and they should all help you make good decisions economically and financially. So the first book I wanted to show you guys, um, it is an investing book. Some of the later ones aren't, but I'll explain why I added them into this video. The first book is The Richest Man in Babylon. And all these books I do own these books, and I haven't read. I'll tell you which ones I've read through the whole way. Some of them I've read portions. One of them is actually kind of like a textbook, so you might find the pieces that you need out of it and save the rest for when you come across it. So this first book, I picked this one first because it's probably the most important one. It's a very short read. It took me about an hour or two to read this, and a fourth grader could read this. What it does is it teaches you general investing principles in a storytelling way that a child could read. So I would actually recommend, if you have a child, I would get them this book to read it. And as an adult, I read this as an adult, and I mean, you kind of already know, like, it depends on where you're at, how much knowledge you know. I already pretty much knew everything in this book by the time I had read it. But like I said, they do it in a storytelling way. They give you incredibly good information through a fictional story of a man that lived in Babylon. So it's an interesting read, and it's full of good ideas. My first video that I made on general investing principles, Pay Yourself First, that came straight out of this book. This is a cheap book, and it's very short read, and it has so much value in it, and a kid could read it. So I have all the links to these books in the description if you do decide to buy them, and those links will also help me out a little bit because they're Amazon affiliate links. It's not going to cost you any extra, but it will slide a little bit my way. So I want to read a couple things off the back of this for you so you get an idea of what they're going to tell you in this book. They tell you to keep more of what you earn, get out of debt, put your money to work for you, attract good luck, choose wise investments, and safeguard a lasting fortune. So this book was written in the 1920s, but this is a book that's going to stand the test of time. This will always be relevant. This is a great book. That's why I picked it first. I would highly recommend this one. All right. The next book that I chose to do was this textbook that I bought for a research project into it's actually going to be featured in my first episode of the Market Watch podcast. Microsoft came up with a pretty terrifying cryptocurrency, and I wanted to do a giant report on it because nobody really knows about this, and it it literally leads into mind control and all the human beings stuck into an artificial intelligence, a cryptocurrency that reads your thoughts and your heartbeat and everything that's going on inside your body. It's insane. I'm going to feature that on the first Market Watch episode. And the reason why I bought this book is because in order to really give people an idea of what cryptocurrency and what Microsoft is, how they're trying to basically enslave the entire human race with crypto, you have to have a firm understanding of money and where it comes from and why it's intrinsically real. So this book actually does a good job of teaching people that money is a universal law and is baked into physics. Money is a currency of exchange, as well as some other things like a store of value. The only real thing a money is an exchange medium. So anything that you can use to exchange as an exchange medium, that's a currency, that's a money. Other people like, what's good money, what's bad money? Obviously, an exchange medium, you could have good exchange mediums and bad exchange mediums. So there's good money and bad money. Gold is good money. fiat currency is bad money. This book is going to describe all that for you. And what I realized is, well, this is a physical law. Energy. Energy is the exchange medium of action of the universe. All actions that take place in the universe need energy to happen. Now, in human beings, that's called it's whatever that word is that people always say, oh, I'm overweight because I have metabolism. In a human being, all the processes that convert energy forms to keep you alive is called metabolism. But every single thing on this planet, in this universe, if anything, if a ball has to roll, if the sun, the Big Bang, it all takes energy. Energy is the exchange medium of the universe. Energy is the base currency. So I think they should make a cryptocurrency that is called the joule, because joule is a base unit of energy in a lot of physics. I'm sure they have other ones too. We should make a cryptocurrency called the joule, and its whole purpose is to dictate the market price of energy. That's what markets are. All markets, every single market, all they're trying to do is figure out the market price of energy. Your job, how much they pay you, how much this Bitcoin is worth, how much this gold is worth. It literally, all we're doing is trying to find the value of a base unit of energy. So if we can create a cryptocurrency that the market dictates the price of it and it's linked to the base unit of energy through physics, you can start creating virtual realities where things have real energetic value. If you're in a virtual video game and you need to take one step, or you need to shoot a character, you're going to have to spend this cryptocurrency, which is linked to the market value of a joule. Anyways, I'm going off topic. I got a lot of ideas. This book is great as well. This is the most expensive book on the list, but it has the most value. Well, it's hard to say which has the most value because it's kind of a personal thing, what you can extract information out of. This is a great book, though. It's going to teach you, it teaches you a lot, like how they started faking money 10,000 years ago is very interesting. The Chinese government, Genghis Khan brought fiat over to Marco Polo, brought it over to the Europe. They were using shells for a while. This is going to teach you everything you need to know about the evolution of money. And they do a very good job, because in my mind I was like, dude, I haven't seen anyone talk about how energy is the base unit of action currency of the universe. These guys hit it right. They hit the nail on the head. And there's a reason why they don't teach you this stuff in school. So all these books, they're never going to show you this in school. They don't want you to be wealthy. All right. So those are the first two books. The next book is the Bill of Rights. Like I said, they're going to stop being super financial, but these are financial documents. You need to know your human rights. The reason why I didn't choose the Constitution is because the Constitution is not your fundamental human rights of existence on this planet. Nobody can take from you. They existed before you were born. These rights, the rights dictated in this book, existed before human beings even existed. These rights have always existed. They're natural laws. And if you understand your rights, you will understand how you can participate in markets freely. You will understand what is criminal, what are scams, and what is a free market. You got to familiarize yourself with your natural rights. If you don't understand your natural rights, you will never be financially successful unless you get lucky, right? I'm not trying to get people to be lucky. You need to understand the world to make wise investments, just like in that first book I showed you said, make wise investments. All right? So the Bill of Rights, that's a good place to start, because when the government comes in and tells you you're not allowed to buy cryptocurrency, you stick this shit in their face. And the second right we have is guns. So you also stick a gun in their face. When they come try to take your First Amendment and tell you you're not allowed to own Bitcoin, you use the Second Amendment and the First and the Fourth. You need to familiarize yourself with your rights if you want to be a financial success and not leave it up to luck and chance. So, the next one, if you don't want to read, you can look at Ron Paul's Liberty Report. Now, I have this little book from Ron Paul. You can't get this. This was like an exclusive one-time thing. But Ron Paul has a show on the internet called the Ron Paul Liberty Report. All you got to do is search that into YouTube, and I'll have the link for it for you guys. And the dude's never wrong about anything. He's never wrong about anything. He gets everything right. Literally everything. He's never wrong. So if you want to know what the markets look like, what's going to happen, who's actually behind the scenes dictating markets, you're going to want to watch Ron Paul Liberty Report. It's that simple. And that goes along with the Bill of Rights. So the next one, if you're going to understand the truth about freedom, financial markets, here's the main point. A free market is your natural born right. You have the right to participation in a free market. It's the First Amendment. It's the freedom of speech. The free market is a combination of the freedom of speech and the Fourth Amendment. Your privacy and your ability to speak. Speech is also association. So under the freedom of speech is also your freedom to associate with the people you want to associate and disassociate from the people you don't want to associate. You can do business with who you want. You can choose not to do business with who you don't want. All right? So if you're going to understand your rights, then you're going to understand free markets because they're the exact same thing. Now, it's always good to learn both sides. And if you're learning about the free market, you need to understand that there are people on the other side trying to strip you of those rights, and they're called criminals. And that's what gets me into the Communist Manifesto. So I wouldn't recommend basing your life off of this. This is pure garbage, straight garbage. But I would recommend reading this to understand how people who have no comprehension of business or finances or freedom, how they're trying to steal everything from you. If you don't know how they are trying to come about stealing everything from you, then you can't stop them. And Bitcoin won't be around. These people will try to take Bitcoin from you. They will try to take your gold. They will take everything that you own and give it to themselves. And if you don't read this, you don't know how they're going to do it. Because it's not what they tell you in the news. You got to read this for yourself. The next one, if we can't get people to understand this, and we can't get people to understand this, then you better start reading this. U.S. Army Survival Guide. If there are no free markets and there is no liberty, your Bitcoin is not going to mean anything. Your gold will. Your bullets will. When it comes to investing, currencies are not your only investments. Stocks are not your only investments. Your health is an investment. Your mind is an investment. Your ability to exist outside of the system as it is now is an investment. Can you grow food? Can you hunt for your own food? Do you know how to fish? Do you know how to store food for a year? Do you know how to do any of this? If you don't, your investments mean nothing because somebody's going to come take them from you. And if you don't have the skills, the knowledge, and the confidence to exist on your own, you will have everything stolen from you. So that's those are my books, my first round of books that I wanted to show you guys. Like I said, all the links are going to be in the description. And if you do purchase these books through the links, that will help me out. Hopefully this video will help you out. And I appreciate everybody for watching.